Mythbusters, the podcast edition. Climate conundrums, debunking the hype and finding the fix. Welcome, truth seekers and future shapers, to Mythbusters, the podcast edition. Today, we're tackling perhaps the most defining challenge of our era, climate change. It's a topic riddled with strong opinions, conflicting information, and often a lot of hype, both positive and negative. People are searching for answers. Is climate change real? Can we fix climate change? What are climate change solutions? And how to reduce carbon footprint? Our mission today is to cut through the noise, debunk the misconceptions, and equip you with clear, science-backed facts. We'll explore the undeniable reality of our changing planet, scrutinize the proposed solutions, examine the power of individual action, and stress the crucial role of global collaboration. Can we really fix climate change? Let's dive in. The climate crisis, busting denial and facing facts. The first and most persistent myth we encounter is the notion that climate change is a hoax, a natural cycle, or simply not real. This is a myth we must address head-on, because understanding the problem is the first step towards solving it. Here are the undeniable facts, backed by decades of scientific data. Global temperatures are rising. The planet is unequivocally getting warmer. We're witnessing a consistent, quantifiable rise in global temperatures, with each decade surpassing the last as the hottest on record. This isn't just about a few hot summers. It's a long-term, accelerating trend. Sea levels are creeping up. Glaciers and ice caps are melting at unprecedented rates, contributing to a measurable rise in sea levels. This isn't about tides. It's about coastal communities facing increased flooding and erosion. Extreme weather is intensifying. From more frequent and severe heat waves and droughts to intensified storms and wildfires, we are experiencing a clear increase in extreme weather events. This isn't just bad weather, it's a pattern consistent with a warming planet. The evidence is overwhelming. Over 97% of actively publishing climate scientists agree that warming trends over the past century are extremely likely due to human activities. There is no serious scientific debate about the reality of climate change. The urgency of the situation cannot be overstated. The potential consequences of inaction, from widespread displacement to irreversible ecosystem damage, are stark. Verdict number 1. Is climate change a hoax or a natural cycle that doesn't concern humans? Myth busted. The scientific data provides an undeniable picture of a rapidly changing climate, largely driven by human activities. Solution scrutiny. What works, what doesn't, and no magic bullet. With the reality established, our next myth emerges that there's one single magic solution that will fix everything, or conversely, that all proposed solutions are too expensive or technologically unfeasible. The truth is far more complex, requiring a multifaceted approach. People are searching for renewable energy effectiveness, carbon capture technology pros and cons, and sustainable agriculture benefits. Let's explore some key mitigation strategies. Renewable energy sources. What it is, shifting from fossil fuels, coal, oil, gas, to renewable energy sources like solar, wind, hydro, and geothermal. Pros, clean energy, reduced greenhouse gas emissions, growing cost effectiveness, job creation. Cons, intermittency. The sun doesn't always shine, the wind doesn't always blow. Need for energy storage, batteries, initial infrastructure investment. Feasibility, highly feasible and rapidly expanding globally. The cost effectiveness of solar and wind power has plummeted in recent years, making them competitive with or even cheaper than traditional fossil fuels in many regions. Carbon capture technology. What it is, technologies designed to capture carbon dioxide emissions directly from industrial sources, or even from the air itself. Pros, can reduce emissions from hard-to-decarbonize industries, potential for negative emissions, removing carbon in the air. Cons, high cost, energy-intensive, Scalability challenges, concerns about long-term storage of captured CO2. Feasibility, technically feasible but currently expensive and not yet scalable enough to make a significant global impact on its own. Sustainable agriculture, what it is, practices that aim to reduce agriculture's environmental impact, such as regenerative farming, reduced deforestation, improved livestock management, and efficient water use. Pros, reduces emissions from land use, improves soil health, enhances biodiversity, increases food security. Cons, can be slow to implement on a large scale, requires shifts in traditional farming practices. Feasibility, highly feasible, often yielding long-term economic benefits for farmers, and crucial given agriculture's significant contribution to emissions. The reality is, there's no single magic bullet. Effective climate action requires a combination of these and many other solutions tailored to specific regions and sectors. The good news is that technological feasibility is rapidly improving, and the long-term cost of inaction far outweighs the investment in these solutions. Verdict number 2. Is there one magic solution, or are all solutions impossible? Myth busted. There's no single fix, but a diverse portfolio of increasingly feasible and cost-effective solutions exists, requiring widespread implementation. The power of one, busting the "my actions don't matter" myth. Our third common myth is perhaps the most disempowering, that individual actions don't make a difference in the face of such a colossal global challenge. It's easy to feel overwhelmed and think, what can I possibly do? People often search how to reduce carbon footprint or individual climate action impact. While systemic change is absolutely crucial, dismissing individual action entirely is a dangerous oversimplification. Why? Because individual actions, collectively, create powerful movements and demand for systemic change. Think about it. Reducing your carbon footprint. Simple steps like adopting sustainable lifestyles, eating a plant-rich diet, reducing waste, and choosing sustainable transportation options like walking, cycling, public transportation, or electric vehicles add up. Every kilowatt-hour saved, every mile not driven in a gas car contributes. Supporting climate-friendly businesses. Every purchase is a vote. By supporting businesses committed to sustainability, you send a clear market signal, incentivizing more companies to adopt eco-friendly practices. Advocating for climate policies. Perhaps the most impactful individual action is lending your voice. Write to your representatives, support climate-focused organizations, participate in peaceful demonstrations, and vote for leaders committed to climate action. Individual advocacy can directly influence policy initiatives and drive large-scale solutions. Your choices resonate. Verdict number 3. Do individual actions not make a difference? Myth busted. While we need systemic change, the collective power of individual choices and advocacy is a fundamental driver for that change. Global harmony, busting the impossible collaboration myth. The scale of climate change is global, so it requires a global response. Yet our fourth myth often suggests that international cooperation and collaboration on climate change are impossible due to geopolitical complexities and national interests. People search for Paris Agreement effectiveness or international climate initiatives. While deeply challenging, history shows us that global collaboration is not only possible, but essential. Look at successful examples like the Paris Agreement. Adopted in 2015, it brought nearly every nation on Earth together in a common cause to combat climate change and adapt to its effects, with ambitious goals to limit global warming. This was a monumental diplomatic achievement, demonstrating that nations can agree on collective action despite their differences. The challenges are significant: differing economic priorities, historical responsibilities, and the need for fair resource distribution. But the opportunities for collaboration are even greater. Sharing technological innovations, coordinating policy initiatives, providing financial support to developing nations for green transitions, and fostering joint research efforts. Climate change doesn't respect borders. Solutions cannot either. Verdict number 4. Is global collaboration on climate change impossible? Myth busted. While immensely challenging, past successes like the Paris Agreement prove that nations can and must unite to address this shared global threat. As we wrap up this episode of Mythbusters, the podcast edition, the ultimate question remains: can we really fix climate change? The answer, unequivocally, is yes, it is possible. But it requires immediate and decisive action, a collective, sustained effort on all fronts. The future of our planet depends on continued scientific research to refine our understanding, accelerate technological innovation to create more efficient solutions, and implement robust policy initiatives that drive systemic change at speed and scale. Don't be overwhelmed by the hype or paralyzed by the myths. Instead, be part of the solution. Your voice, your choices, and your support for climate action matter. The path forward is clear, though challenging. It's a journey we must embark on together. Thank you for joining us on Mythbusters, the podcast edition. Stay curious, stay informed, and most importantly, stay hopeful.